Hey, Fraggle fans, Beth here. As we're nearing the end of Season 3, it's time to send us your listener feedback. Questions, corrections, stuff we missed, fan art, whatever you got. Send those in by the end of July. You can email beth@toughpigs.com or tag me in the Fraggle Talk channel of the Tough Pigs Discord. Just make sure to do that by July 31st. Thanks so much for listening, and on with the show. Hello and welcome to Fraggle Talk Classic, the unofficial Fraggle Rock podcast brought to you by toughpigs.com. My name is Beth, and I am rewatching for the millionth time.
My name is Julia, and I'm rewatching for the first time in 10 years.
My name is Adam, and the little Moki on my wrist tells me it's 6:31. That's right, I took this episode and wrapped it around my wrist, and I'm using it as a timepiece. I'm watching this for the first time.
Ah.
Wow. Okay.
We got there.
And today we
Thanks, Moki.
are talking about episode 21 of Season 3, A Dark and Stormy Night, which originally aired on May 20th, 1985, written by Sujith Varghese and directed by Norman Campbell.
I feel like this episode had a lot of just sort of like points of culmination in like small but really important ways.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, the last episode we watched was really like a weighty subject, and this one definitely feels less weighty in the message it's trying to give, but also feels very important for where we're at as we're rounding close to the final like ending of Season 3.
Yeah.
With the Gorgs and the Fraggles in general and their relationships.
Totally.
Yeah. Not just the Fraggles and the Gorgs, but also like the Fraggles and themselves, the Gorgs and themselves. There's so many good little ones. And Doc, like we start off with Sprocket having a nightmare, and Doc like wakes him up and then comforts him.
Yeah.
No hesitation. Just like, oh, you're having a nightmare, buddy. You're okay. You're safe here. It's not real.
Yeah.
Good job, Doc.
And then he's going to invent him a ghost detector so Sprocket will know there's nothing to be scared of. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
He also has clearly been paying attention. He asks Sprocket if Sprocket has been eating any of this one particular weird food. And is like, you know you get nightmares when you eat that.
Isn't it pickled gherkins?
Yep.
Aren't gherkins pickles? Am I wrong?
Yeah. I mean, specifically, they're like the little bitty ones.
Okay.
All gherkins are pickles, but not all pickles are gherkins.
But I just wanted to ask, because I will get like really gnarly nightmares if I eat chocolate within an hour of going to bed. And I was wondering, do y'all also have something like that? It's not like an every time, but it's like a most of the time.
Not that I'm aware of.
If I have like a lot of really spicy food, I am more likely to wake up in the middle of the night, but I'm usually a pretty sound sleeper.
Heard.
Yeah. My nightmares do not have predictable triggers, sadly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, many of them don't, but like this is one pattern that is just like, oh yeah, had a bet. Well, I did have a shot. Yeah, okay, that's on me.
I feel like during summer I have one solid week where I have very vivid nightmares, probably when the heat gets really bad, and then they go away, and I hardly remember my dreams.
Cool.
That happened to me for a whole summer once.
Whoa.
I had a nightmare every single night all summer long.
Same nightmare or different nightmares?
Different nightmares. And fortunately, it was a different summer than the summer where I had at least one nosebleed every single day.
Ooh.
It just sounds like your body and brain use summer to process things.
Well, also it was Arizona.
Ooh.
And
yeah.
my body is not built to process heat well.
I mean, also Arizona is a nightmare.
Your body was rejecting Arizona.
Yup.
So we cut to Gobo, and what is his weird hat he's wearing?
It's like a bowler hat and a helmet got mashed together. It's so
and that
strange.
was 2 sizes too small.
Yeah.
But Gobo's super bored. There's nothing left for him to explore, which we know is probably not the case. I feel like we're going to go into season 4, and then there's going to be something new to explore. But I feel like we've all been here before where you just feel very stagnant, and you're like, oh, I've done everything. What is there left to do?
Mm-hmm.
I know Wembley suggests like going out to the Gorgs garden, but, you know, he's done that a million times. He's not stoked by that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wembley's actually, it's adorable. Wembley's really excited. He's like, oh, I know something you can do. Moki said to pick up an extra radish. And Gobo's like, oh, yeah, okay. And so then we cut to the Gorgs. And boy, howdy, Junior is loading up a cart. And Pa helps him proactively.
A little.
He goes, here, son, let me help you with that.
He's picking up the lightest items, to be fair.
I didn't say he was being a saint. I just this is the kindest we have seen him be to Junior proactively, and I don't think it's a coincidence that this is after 2 instances of Junior standing up to him.
Excellent
Yeah,
point.
that's true.
He calls Ma, O Empress of Shadows and Light, which is incredible.
Hell
we haven't
yeah.
gotten that pet
So
name
good.
before. We get a lot
So
of pet
good.
names in this episode, but that's a new one.
And then she does this thing that I hate so much, where her pet name for him is just like an affection based on the service he's providing for her that he doesn't want to be doing, and she's kind of cajoling him into. She calls him my little beastie of burden.
Mm-hmm.
But we do get to see Junior and Pa even kind of joking together, even if it is sort of the the dad and son joking about the mom, sort of lightweight misogyny. But Pa's like, you're going to bring half the kingdom. And she's like, oh, I've only got a few other things. And Junior's like, that'll be the other half, Daddy.
Have we heard of their cottage before?
No one, I want to know everything.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if we've heard of it before.
I don't think that we have. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. So I thought when Gobo was getting really excited, I was like, is he going to tag along with them to the cottage? I don't remember this episode. That's wild. And then it became clear that wasn't actually going to happen. But yeah, I don't know. I'm so curious about the land that the Gorgs live in and how actually vast it is.
Yeah.
Maybe the cottage is like a 5-minute walk away for all we know.
Right.
They take the tables and chairs with them, and they're only going away for one night, so it can't be super, super far away.
Right.
But it's still it's fascinating. Yeah.
So Gobo sees this and realizes, aha, the Gorgs will not be in the castle tonight. What a great opportunity.
Yeah, he's like, I can go a place I've never thoroughly explored. And we see him excited. And Red even comments, she's just like, wow, this is the most excited I've ever seen you. This must be a really special place to go. And he won't tell them where he's going.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a great little moment where Red tries to bait it out of him by being like, oh, it's probably not that special. But Gobo doesn't fall for it at all. And Red winds up losing it and just shaking him, being like, if you don't tell us where it is, my eyes are going to pop out of my skull.
There's another great moment where I think it's Moki says, you'll be a hero. And then Boober says, or dead. And Wembley says, or both. It's just a good, little beat.
Yup. Many heroes are dead.
So many. So we get to see another really nice little conversation with Pa and Junior.
Well, before that,
Oh, yeah. Go
so
ahead.
he's trying to explain to them that, it's actually not a big deal because the Gorgs won't be there tonight.
Oh, yeah.
But he doesn't really get a chance because they just keep going on about his modesty and his heroism, and they run off to spread the word about his bravery, and he keeps trying to tell them that he'll be alone in the castle, but he doesn't really get a chance, and that's...
Yeah, they don't let him get a word in edgewise.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought it was good growth from Gobo, just because in the past, especially season 1, he would have been tooting his own horn. And in this one, the entire time, he's like, no, it's not actually that big of a deal. It's okay.
Yeah.
And even up until the very end, when he finally gets the word in, I don't know. It's a good growth from our fearless leader, Gobo, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that is an important bit, and I don't think I took notes on it.
But yes, back to the Gorgs.
So then Junior gets told that, he is being entrusted with watching the castle alone and being entrusted with keeping the crown jewel safe.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do the Gorgish oath.
Well, so a couple of things about the crown jewel itself.
Yeah.
One, we gotta admire how they say jewel every
Yeah.
time. That's just a little extra sauce Richard Hunt is putting on it.
Mm-hmm.
And two, why is the crown jewel a single black orb? It looks like a Fraggle-sized palantir.
It does.
And we never get a satisfying answer to that. We never get even an unsatisfying answer to that. This is just the crown jewel, and it's a black orb, and that's all we know.
I mean, there's a sort of answer that's implied, which is that it's not actually that important. It's just part of the test.
Oh, interesting.
Because even Junior's like, that's it? That's the crown jewel? And Pa's like, yeah, it's very important.
It had not occurred to me that it might just be a random object.
So then they do the Gorgish Oath, and I want to love this because it's beautiful rhythmic nonsense. But they say inky dinky waddly poo, and then they say Nazi nosy giggly goo. Why do they say Nazi? Why is the word Nazi in there?
Not Nazi. Notsy.
Those are homonyms.
Yes, they are. Yeah, you can't hear it if you don't have the captions on. You're never gonna know.
Yeah, which most people when this was filming didn't have captions. Why does it have Nazi in it?
Who knows?
That just feels like an oversight.
Yep.
They even ended with a hey nani nani and a ha cha cha, and I could enjoy neither the hey nani nani nor the ha cha cha.
I think it's worth noting, so we have seen before in Junior Sells the Farm, they did just hey nani nani, hey nani, ha cha cha.
Yeah.
And this one has a simpler name but a more complicated oath itself. So this is...
Oh, yeah. Well, the solemn oath also has, like, real words in it. Doesn't it?
No. The solemn oath of the Gorgs was just hey nani nani, hey nani, ha cha cha. That's it.
Oh. I'm thinking of the solemn oath of the Fraggle.
Well, that also doesn't have quote-unquote real words. That's also nonsense words.
What oath am I thinking of? Maybe it's the Boy Scout oath. Anyways. So, Ma's bringing more stuff. Pa's like, oh, what are you bringing then? She's like, well, I'm bringing my makeup because this is our second honeymoon. And Pa immediately changes his tune and is like, bring whatever you want. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, the kids didn't get that joke, but we did.
Yep.
We got that joke.
And we get a nice parallel to Doc and Sprocket with Ma warning Junior not to make any garlic popcorn because it gets an upset tummy and, quote, starts seeing things.
Which is concerning.
It's concerning. Either Junior actually has a bad reaction to garlic popcorn, or Ma is not taking what Junior actually sees seriously enough.
Mm-hmm. And Ma says, we'll be home early in the morning. And Pa says, but not too early, my little passion fruit. And it's just like, oh, they are going to make Junior a sibling.
Yeah, they're laying on thick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Red and Moki overhear this, and that's when they realize, oh, Gobo's coming here, and the Gorgs aren't even going to be here, because, again, they weren't listening to him when he was trying to tell them this. And so Red wants to scare Gobo, essentially. Like, starts being like, wants to get her revenge.
There's also this amazing perspective shot as they just sort of scuttle along at the feet of the Gorgs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like clearly a green screen shot, but like the camera is following them while the camera in the green screen is following the other way. It's really well done.
Yeah. And I wonder, so Moki and Red are out in the garden getting a radish, seeing the Gorgs leave. So why did Gobo need to get one in the first place? Because normally it's Moki's job to get a radish. And Wembley was like, oh, make sure you get an extra radish for Moki. And now she's here doing her job.
Maybe Wembley suggested it just to give his friend something to do because his friend was down in the dumps. Or maybe someone else requested a radish for Moki to go get. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. But we cut back to Wembley and Gobo's packing up to leave. And Wembley is so excited to be best friends with Fraggle Rock's greatest hero.
Mm-hmm.
And just in his own world until he realizes that if Gobo is gone for the night, he is on his own for the night and doesn't like that idea at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we get a song. And I think this is the only song in the episode.
Yep.
And I love it. I love this song so much.
It's a good one.
It is, yeah. This song is the most kid-coded song I think that we've gotten in the show so far, where it's like, hey kids, this is what it's like to be left on your own. A child's dream of getting to finally be home alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that just like jumping of like half idea to half idea to half idea because they're just so excited they can't sit with one.
Yes.
So good.
And a little bit of healthy opposition. Talking about like, well, they tell you all the time that you're not ready to be free. They tell you that you're just too young to know. But I've got ways of knowing and I know they're right for me. I got special ways I got to go. Like, that's really nice. Good for Junior. And as usual, Junior's got great moves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh, seeing Junior dance is phenomenal.
He's trying on Pa's crown and waving the scepter around. He's having a grand old time.
So he decides he's going to keep the crown jewel safe in an open box, and then he puts it in the middle of the floor where he can always see it so he won't forget about it. And honestly, smart.
Yeah.
Real smart.
It is a very ADHD move of, I'm going to leave it in the most easy to find place imaginable.
I've still lost things that way.
Oh, sure.
But
who hasn't?
It's better than nothing.
Yeah. But yeah, Gobo and Wembley, first Junior gets the crown jewel and he's like, oh, I'm going to go see if I can find something in the shed to like hide it in. And then Gobo and Wembley come in. They see no Gorgs around. They're like, great, it's empty. And they go to like find a base camp. And that's when Junior then brings the chest in with the crown jewel and then leaves again. And then both Gobo and Wembley are like, wait, where did this come from? This definitely wasn't here before. And thus begins the like a lot of like crossing each other, but missing each other as well and getting freaked out.
Yeah. And did anyone else spot the painting of King Gorgas the Great and Sir Hubris that we saw previously?
I recognized the painting, but I did not clock when it fell and covered the Fraggle hole.
Yeah.
I just was like, oh, the painting fell down.
Mm-hmm.
So they see this and they're like, that wasn't there before. And Gogo's like, but what's this thing? And he finds the crown jewel. He calls it a neat Gorgish artifact, and he decides we're going to take it back, but then we get to see Red's plan.
Well, just the fact that Gobo's like, oh, let's just take this neat Gorgish artifact. Like, okay, even taking artifacts from cultures that have been quote-unquote gone for hundreds of years, still questionable. The Gorgs are right there. They're going to be back tomorrow. One of them is still here. This is just straight up stealing.
Went to my friend's house and took the computer and called it a cool Kevinish artifact, and now he's calling the police for some reason. I'm clearly an archaeologist.
Exactly.
And also, the Fraggles are all about exploring, but we never really see them taking stuff, do we? Like, I
mean, they mention that it's for a museum later.
Do they?
Yeah, that comes up in a bit. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
there's something about like a museum in the newer show, isn't there, Beth?
There is something about a museum in the newer show.
Okay, I do remember that, but I didn't remember really them displaying things that were found outside of like maps and things like
right.
Yeah, so this seemed strange, and my husband and I just went through like all of the Indiana Jones movies recently where we're like, man, Indiana Jones would suck a lot more if he wasn't also punching Nazis at the same time. So
right.
I guess if I'm gonna watch a sexy man take artifacts from a culture that's not his, at least he gets to punch some Nazis along the way. That's what it made me think of. But yeah, then Red and Moki are making their ghost noises by the entrance that Gobo and Wembley came through.
Oh, right.
A lot of wooing. Woo.
And Boober is helping by reading out of his edition of Fright and Terror for the Faint of Heart.
I love that.
Like, of course he has a book called that.
Mm-hmm. And then Moki and Red they're like, we should go in. We should, like, do they want to go in to continue to scare them, or do they just want to go find Gobo and Wembley at this point?
Red says, let's go inside and have some fun with that black ball. Gobo thinks he's taking it back for the museum.
Right.
And again, this is the first we've heard of a museum in the original series.
Mm-hmm.
Colonizer tendencies confirmed. But then Boober's the one that tries to pull them back, and Moki says, the Gorgs aren't home. And Boober says, well, there's still Gorg germs in there.
I love that. And the way they convince him is they say, yes, I guess you don't want to check out the famed gourmet Gorg pantry.
Mm-hmm.
Which, have they heard of Gorg food?
I mean, how is the pantry famous if no one's ever mapped the castle before?
I mean, clearly also they've never heard of Gorg food because Gorg food is nasty.
Yeah. Or at least they were in the kitchen that one time.
Yeah.
Because remember, Moki was standing in for a pepper shaker.
Yeah, her and Gobo were pretending to be pepper shakers.
So there is at least a passing familiarity with some things that Gorgs eat. And they know what they grow in the garden, obviously.
Well, and the Gorgs are always bringing, like, food out and talking about food. So, if anything, like, they've heard conversations, but also maybe taken some food before.
Yeah. And Boober says, gosh, it must be huge. Like, well, yeah, okay, that does make sense. At the very least, the pantry is large.
And yeah, Boober mentions that he just one truffle would last him for months.
Yeah. So everybody's in the castle now.
Mm-hmm.
Gobo's trying to reassure Wembley as they're hiding in the treasure chest.
And we get the traveling Matt postcard.
This one is weird.
There's one thing I like about this one. He's like, oh, there's Gorgs here too, and it's because he sees a castle. And because the Fraggles have no understanding of castles that aren't related to Gorgs.
Mm-hmm.
True. And then there's a man at the very end where he's mistaken for a Gorg because he's wearing the biggest, furriest coat.
Oh yeah, huge.
And it's just very strange. And he also, Matt keeps like mentioning bells because the phone rings, and I think maybe the doorbell rings as well. And I couldn't really...
The clock chimes.
Oh yeah, I guess maybe tying in, with the clock that we're going to see when we go back to the Gorgs castle. It was a really strange one. I guess it was just tying Matt's understanding of the Gorgs in outer space.
Yeah. And making his little... Matt is doing revisionist history because we can see that he's clearly scared while he's writing back to Gobo, I wasn't afraid.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. He's done this so many times where he's hyping himself up and he's actually acting the opposite way, that he's telling his nephew that he was so brave in this moment, or, everyone loved him, and then it's not actually the case.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just also was really glad that this dude chased Matt out, because it's nice to see Matt get comeuppance for breaking and entering.
Right. For once.
Right. So Junior comes back and sees the jewel is gone. And I love this. Again, his first thought is to check the door to see whether or not it's still locked. That's a really practical, really sensible thought.
So it should also be noted that Junior is making garlic popcorn, the exact thing he was told he should not do.
And doing a terrible job of it.
Because he's a big boy now. He's home alone. He can do what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
He mentions he needs more peanut butter after it maybe explodes in their kitchen.
Yeah.
It explodes like twice.
Which that's what makes the painting fall in front of the hole right later.
Mm-hmm.
Is
Yes.
him making another batch of it. Because he says something along the lines of like, another one up in smoke or something, But also we see Red and Moki go and hide the crown jewel in the grandfather clock, and they ask like, what kind of room do you think this is?
I love that.
Which is very interesting.
Yeah.
Of course they assume it's a room.
Mm-hmm.
It's a room for them.
Red says it must be some kind of Gorg closet.
Yeah.
So the painting falls. There's another explosion. Gobo convinces himself that it was just the storm, but Wembley says it's probably the Gorgs, quote, getting ready to roast our giblets. Again, planting the seeds of the fear of Gorgs eating Fraggles, which we've never actually seen, but it does get implied a few times. But Gobo realizes that the ball is missing, and he says he's not leaving without it.
This whole sequence made me think of like a English theater play, like farce.
Yeah.
I'm lacking like the kind of exact word, but one of those ones where it's a lot of like closed doors where people are coming and doing something, and then someone else comes and is lacking the context, and then like they're just missing each other. And it's just kind of a lot of this, like Junior comes in, like he hears the noise and he thinks that the armor is the thief, but it's really just an empty suit of armor. And like the Fraggles all run into each other really briefly, but they're all so scared that they don't really register. And Wembley and Gobo yeet themselves back into the chest. And it's just a lot of like, I guess, comedy of errors, which is not really I guess that's kind of like what it is a little bit.
Yeah.
Shakespeare. Just everyone not having the full context and just freaking themselves out a little bit.
Yeah. I do like that when they all run into each other, it is quite literal. They all bump into each other and scream and scatter.
Yeah.
And Junior comes sneaking out with a butterfly net and a plunger. Like, good thing I brought some protection.
I missed the plunger. That's pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
He plunges the armor and it collapses.
Mm-hmm.
And so eventually they all wind up seeing each other. And they have, I think this is the first time they've all handled a miscommunication sensibly. They're all like, oh, wait, that was you. Oh, wait, that was you. Oh, wait, that was you. And like, there's some strong emotions, but nobody's mad, and everybody just kind of winds up on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get the twist.
There's someone standing outside the window.
Dun, dun, dun.
Creepy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh. And that's when we cut back to Doc and Sprocket. And Sprocket has settled down and is asleep. And Doc is on the phone with Ned saying that he made a fake ghost detector simply so that Sprocket would be calm and, be assured that nothing was actually there to scare him, which is sweet, you know.
That reminds me of the trick with kids where you make monster spray, and so you have them spray down the closet so no monsters can come in.
Aw.
That's good. Oh, but his detector starts going off. Right.
Oh,
and
right.
That's when we cut away because it's making a lot of noise.
So what if ghosts are real after all?
Ooh. I mean, there could be ghosts in Fraggle Rock. It wouldn't feel too out of place based off of everything else about the world.
Everything else we've seen.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's a lot more fantasy than supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they work together and they set up a like, hey, here's a plan to catch the thief.
Well,
and
so real quick.
Yeah.
So there's a second where, you know, everybody's being scared and Junior says, if Mommy and Daddy were here, they'd know what to do. And Moki says, well, they're not, so you have to take care of it. And Junior says, and that's supposed to make me feel better? Like, oh, man.
Oh, that's a mood.
That feeling when you are the grown-up.
It's a terrible feeling.
That's a rough one.
Yeah. You get to be home all alone and do whatever you want, but also you're the grown-up when things go wrong.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they put on this ruse to trick the thief or the ghost, whatever they are assuming is outside of the castle. And Junior does this wonderfully bad play acting of like, oh, here is the crown jewel. I'm going to put it in the chest. And like shows it off and is like, no, I'm going to go inside. And, you know, just a lot of bad acting, which we've seen from Junior before. Like one other time when he worked with Gobo. Oh, it was for the boring spray, right? Where he pretends at first that he's been affected by it, but then actually does later. So it's kind of like a nice callback to earlier this season as well.
Yeah.
But, you know, takes it inside, and then they lay their trap of the Fraggles have like a line to trip someone, and then does Junior have a broom, or is there something else that he runs out with once the trap is sprung?
I think
it's a butterfly net.
Yeah.
It's the butterfly net.
It's still the butterfly net. Okay, cool.
And what is very clearly Pa in a cloak sneaks in, and the Fraggles trip Pa. Junior throws the net over his head, and he celebrates for like 2 seconds before realizing it's Pa. And Pa finally says he's proud of Junior.
Yeah.
And it only took 3 bleeping seasons.
This episode is by far the nicest Pa has ever been to Junior.
Yeah.
Like the start that we talked about, and then this part where he is genuinely proud of his son.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, Pa, I guess. Bare minimum, but you did it.
I mean, there's a lot that you could say about the fact that Pa is proud of him for something that it was a task that Pa set in the first place.
Yes.
And it's all about, like, honoring, you know, those who came before us, and my father before him, and his father before him, and all of that BS. But it's something.
Yeah. It's also worth noting this was clearly more important to him than doing the Gorg nasty with Ma, because Ma is mad that he came back and did this.
Yep.
Yeah, she's so upset. This is also when Junior tells them that he had some help, and like references the Fraggles, and everybody freaks out.
And I appreciate that Junior gives credit where credit is due. He says, I couldn't have done it without help.
Mm-hmm.
And shows the Fraggles, and that's where, of course, Ma freaks out and brandishes her parasol at them, and they run away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we get that moment in the garden where Red offers a genuine apology when Gobo says, I've been trying to tell you guys that I wasn't trying to be brave. I wasn't trying to be a hero. I knew they were going to be gone. And then they're like, sorry about that. Yeah.
Red explicitly says, I guess I just wasn't listening.
Yeah.
It's great. The growth chef's kiss.
It's so nice.
This episode.
It's so nice.
From all the corners, yeah.
And it's a nice little beat to end on that Gobo says, don't worry about it. This way, we all get to be heroes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Beth, anything on the international versions?
We've got to wrap up with Doc and Sprocket.
Oh, yeah.
There's not a ton. It's just that there was a short circuit, and then Doc says something along the lines of, there are no ghosts unless a ghost caused the short circuit, and then they laugh, and that's the end of it.
And that's the end. Yeah. It's not a lot, but...
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to sway Sprocket's fears of ghosts, but also it could just be a thing that he had a bad dream and in the moment is having these fears, but maybe it's not like actually going to be a long-lasting one.
Right.
yeah, that ending felt very abrupt, but the Fraggles had a great beat, and then that one was just like very fast tie-up. So
Right. But yeah, there is one little note on the UK version.
Ooh.
It says, PK and Sprocket read a scary book, and PK decides that he and Sprocket should go explore a nearby castle at night. So definitely more similar to what the Fraggles were doing, but...
PK is that version of Doc.
Yeah, it started out with the captain.
Right.
But then the actor who played the captain passed away, and PK took over as, I believe, the captain's nephew was the conceit of that.
I think that's what you said, yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot more castles in Europe, so that actually doesn't strike me as strange that they're like, hey, let's go explore a castle that's nearby. I guess getting into a castle maybe, but that's cool.
Yeah.
We haven't had an international version in a second.
Shall we talk about how to make the world a little fragglier? If you weren't listening, you could just say sorry, and it doesn't have to be a big deal.
Don't steal your neighbor's stuff.
That's a good one.
Being home alone is super rad. That's all I got. I love being home alone.
Me
so nice.
too.
Who needs pants?
Agreed.
I should make garlic popcorn for dinner. All right, that is going to be it for this one. You can find me on social media at Beth Anna Cook, or occasionally writing stuff for Tough Pigs.
You can find me at Geek Girl Grown Up, also occasionally writing for Tough Pigs, and also at juliagaskell.com for some poetry.
You can find me, as well as my other two co-hosts, on our sister podcast, Moving Right Along. They are talking about Muppets from Space, and we each got to talk about a different 2 minutes, and it's a lovely podcast, and I highly recommend it.
Yeah. They just wrapped up Muppets from Space, and it is a grand old time.
What a movie.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. Reminder to check out toughpigs.com. Give us a good review on your podcatcher of choice, and we will see you next time.
Don't forget to dance your cares away.
Down at Fraggle Talk.
Wow.
Fraggle Talk Classic is brought to you by toughpigs.com. Fraggle Talk art by Dave Hulteen Jr. The Fraggle Rock mark and logo, characters, and elements are trademarks of the Jim Henson Company. All rights reserved. Fraggle Rock theme song, written by Philip Balsam and Dennis Lee, is used with permission. Special thanks to the Jim Henson Company and the entire Fraggle Rock family. For more from Tough Pigs, follow us on Instagram, Blue Sky, and Facebook, and make sure to check out our Discord server, TeePublic merch store, and Patreon. Fraggle Talk Classic is produced and edited by me, Beth Cook. Thank you to Joe Hennis, the Tough Pigs Muppet Fan Podcast executive producer. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time, down at Fraggle Talk.
And then we get a song. I'm going to take that again because I think somebody was opening a door. And then we get a song. And I think this is the only song in the episode. Oh, God, I think it's just a microwave beep. These are totally normal things to have happen. Everything's fine.
I've never heard a microwave beep on your audio.
Cool.
I always have dogs in the background. It's all good.